Greetings, metalheads! Welcome to another edition of the Friday 13th YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing very well, thank you. So today you're going to be listening to an audio interview which was done with Matt Barlow when he was in Iced Earth. This was done in 2001 for the album Horror Show. Now we all know Iced Earth, a bit of great power metal band, speed metal, whatever you want to call them. They've been around for many years. Started out back in 1990 with the debut album self-titled Iced Earth, released on Century Media Records. This was followed up by Night of the Stormbringer back in 91, another fantastic album. As we all know, Iced Earth have gone through various lineup changes, like most bands. We've had Tim Rippowens on vocals, we've had Stu Block on vocals, and also Matt Barlow as well as other singers. So this band have done some really good albums. One of my favourite albums is The Dark Saga. As we all know, that was released in 1996. Great band, great albums. So please listen to this interview, enjoy it, take it for what it is. Please share on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and any other social media sites and groups. Thanks very much. If you haven't subscribed, please do, it's free. Okay, take care metalheads, be safe, stay metal, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching and listening, thank you.
Hi then Matt, first of all I'd like to ask you a couple of warm-up questions. This is the first time I've actually interviewed you, but I've done John twice before.
Right.
So my first question is, I'd like to ask you was, when did you actually join Iced Earth?
I joined Iced Earth in like 90, into 93, beginning of 94. Right after John Greeley was asked to leave, then they started auditioning and everything, and you know, basically it was a long audition process because they weren't they weren't sure of who the next guy was going to be. They knew that the personality had to go with the band as well, and with personality conflicts and stuff, and I guess the atypical lead vocalist attitude thing,
Yeah.
So they wanted to make sure that I was cool. So, it was obviously best that it worked out that way. But there was a long time in between Storm Rider and Burn Offerings because of the business and everything else, but it certainly gave me a little bit more time to work into the band before jumping right into the studio.
Right, so what band was you in before Iced Earth? Did you record anything?
No, just some demo stuff, man. I was in a band with my brother. We called it Cauldron, and there's certainly another band out there I know called Cauldron, or maybe two, but
I know there's one called Cauldron Born, but I don't know about Cauldron.
Yeah.
So what sort of music was you doing?
We were doing more of like a thrashy kind of stuff, Bay Area thrash meets death or something, I don't know, it really kind of amazes me that when John heard our demo and stuff, he was interested in me at all, because really we weren't doing that much melody, and but I guess he heard something. He heard some kind of potential there. So
I wonder if any of these demos are out in the public.
I don't know. There might be somewhere. I don't know.
All right then, Matt. My next question is, how did you hook up with John? Was it through the newspaper or word of mouth?
No, it was actually word of mouth. The drummer that appeared on Burn Offerings, Rodney Beasley, knew me from another band that he was in down south in Bradenton, where I came from, which is about an hour south of Tampa. And he said, I know this guy from the warehouse. He's got like, I guess good look or whatever, and a cool style or whatever. And so John, told him to get a demo. And actually, we had thought that when he said, hey, I'm playing for Iced Earth, and we'd like to have a demo. We thought that they were actually looking for an opening band or something, and come to find out, like a couple weeks later, Rodney approached me and said, hey man, John wanted to know if you'd like to come up and audition for Iced Earth. So I did, and boom.
What did you actually think of Iced Earth's music before you joined them?
Well, I had only heard the scene being the way it was at that time in Tampa. It was like just a ton of death metal, and really Iced Earth wasn't as well known to certainly to me, but we're well known in Tampa, in the Tampa area. And I believe I heard Angels Holocaust on the radio on a local program, because they had some support from some local programmers, and I thought it was really cool. Really, to me, it was very reminiscent of an Iron Maiden, I thought, and in the style and the delivery and stuff. So, and the vocals, it was John Greeley's vocals, but I other than that, I didn't really know a lot about them. I had never seen them play or anything else.
Yeah, me and John go back to the demo days. I've got the original demo tape before they got signed up to Century Media.
Wow,
yeah,
cool.
It's worth some money, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
then, Matt. My next question is, let's just talk about the last album, Something Wicked. How well did it sell, and what sort of press reaction did you get as well as fan release?
It went really well, man. Obviously there are limitations, to a record label of this size, but I believe in Europe it did about 75,000 copies. So, obviously there's room for growth there, but I think that it was just another step forward for Iced Earth, as far as everything, writing and production and the amount of press that was done and promotion and stuff. And I hope that this horror show is our next step up from the ladder. But we'll see, man. It's
a great album. It's the best thing we've done.
Thanks, man.
I
Thank you.
Dark Saga was the best album, but until I had this new one.
Well, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Keep up the good work, anyway. All right, my next question, Matt, is as I only have a promo copy of the album, was the artwork actually done by the same guy who did the Dark Saga?
No, the art was done by Danny Mickey, who works for the guy that did the art for the Dark Saga.
All right.
Which we've sort of following a pattern here. The Dark Saga was actually penciled by Todd McFarlane, who created the Spawn character. It was inked by Greg Capullo, and then Something Wicked was actually drawn and inked by Greg Capullo, and color done by Travis Smith, and now this new one is done by one of the co-drawers from Alive in Athens, Danny Mickey, and the coolest thing about Danny is that he's a metal fan, and he really digs this kind of stuff, and he's inspired by the music, and we can certainly be inspired by his art. So it's just really a great deal of fun. Now he and Axel Herman co-did the cover of Alive in Athens, but Danny went on to do stuff for the inside of the jacket of Alive in Athens, and the three separate artworks for the discs and everything. So and I think his style is really going to be brought out in the liner notes and everything of Horror Show. It's going to be really it's very beautifully done art, and with Travis Smith backing him up on the coloring and the texturing and everything. I think it's really going to be something special visually.
Okay. Did you do much touring for the Something Wicked?
We did quite a bit of touring in the U.S., which is not we did our pretty much our average touring in Europe, and we were really trying to focus on the U.S. because it's a market that's got the potential to really open up for us, and so we did like 3 legs of a tour in the U.S. and we're planning on starting out touring this year in the U.S. in August, because it's a better time to tour in the U.S. in the summer, and come over here in Europe in the fall. And we are playing London this time, so
it's too far away from me. I live up the north.
Oh yeah.
It sucks.
Well,
everybody plays London, man.
Well, that's our first gig ever in the British Isles. So we got to take it one step at a time.
Yeah. I hope you come further north, because I'll make that show, but unfortunately I have to give this one a miss.
What's that?
I've seen you a couple of times in Europe. I've seen you in Dynamo, and I've seen you at Wacken. So
that's cool, man.
So all right, then my next question, Matt, is after that release you did the Live in Athens, why did you decide to record this album in Greece? I would have thought Germany would have had the strongest following for you.
Well, it was just the first time we played Greece, we were as shocked as anybody at the reaction of the crowd, and it was the only place that we've ever gone where the crowd actually drown us out on stage volume. You know, they're just a very intense, passionate group of people, the Greek Iced Earth fans, and we knew that we knew that we had someday wanted to do a live record. And the first time we played in Greece, you know, John just looked at me and said, you know, this is where we got to do the live record, man. There's just nowhere else. They're just so very intense, and we knew that we needed that. We knew that we needed the crowd to be as much a part of the live record as Iced Earth, you know. And it was just, you know, a beautiful thing, man. You know, now it just shows you their passion. The record has gone gold, you know, in Greece. So that's very difficult to do for a live record.
So do you think the Germans were betrayed because you didn't do it in Germany?
No, I don't think so, man. I think that I certainly think that they understand, you know why we did it there. It's evident on the record how much the crowd is a part of it, and you know, we did something that a bit different than most bands do. You know, most bands will tour and do a half a tour and record a half a tour and take the best songs from it. We did something unique. We found a place to play 2 shows, do two completely different sets, and put it on tape. You know, so that was the venue that we wanted. You know, we always do things the hard way.
Right. Okay. Some people will probably ask you why you didn't release this as a live video.
Well, we've actually got video, and it may be released at some point. But
is this from Greece? Or is it from somewhere else?
No, it's from Greece, and you know, we also have video from the Vakken Open Air too.
Right. What, last year?
Not last year. The year before, I believe.
Right.
And whenever we were doing all the shows for Something Wicked, '98.
Right. Okay, great. Okay, my next question is, so did the album sell well?
With Something Wicked?
No, the actual live one.
Oh, the live. Yeah, I mean, it sold very well. You know, it went gold in Greece. It's done very well here in Germany, and you know, certainly for a live record, our expectations, I think, were lower than actually what it did. You know, it's difficult to market a live record, but I think, you know, we put a lot into it. Made a triple CD package, and you know, digipack format, and all this cool artwork, and you know, we gave the fans a little extra, and I think that they really responded to that.
Right. What about another live album? Is there any future plans to do another live album?
Well, not for a while, man. You know, we'd probably need to get a lot more, you know, material under our belts, and we're not just going to put out a live record every time. You know, every time we need whatever filler space or whatever. You know, we're not that kind of a band. We did the live record, and we wanted to do it special and very unique, and let fans know that this wasn't filler. This was, you know, a lot of hard work and passion.
Okay, my next question is, John has had some lineup changes, just like Chuck from Death.
Right.
Why has there been so many lineup changes within the band?
Well, man, you know, it's professionalism. You know, if not everybody can be professional, and sometimes that just lends to more headaches than are needed. So, you know, whether it be, you know, just personal problems or whatever, it just happens. You know, the core is here, and that's really what's important. You know, John is a songwriter, and I think that John and I have a very good working relationship, and I know my job. You know, quite frankly, you know, I don't try to go beyond what my job is, and you know, I don't demand that I be placed in some other kind of category. I'm the singer, and you know, and sometimes the lyricist.
Right. Is John and Chuck best friends, do you think?
John and Chuck? Well,
yeah, that's what they keep changing the lineups.
Well, they're certainly very much like personalities.
Right.
And you know, and that's the whole thing. They're both guys that know what they want. They're very passionate about what they want. And if you know, if somebody's going to try to fuck with that vision, then, you know, they can be replaced, man. It's just that simple.
Right. Did you ever think you'd be thrown out of the band as well at any point?
No, if I stop doing my job, I deserve to be thrown out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It gets beyond personal. I mean, John and I can be great friends, but also when we're in a working environment and working situation, it's got to be pro, man. You know, if it's anything less than that, it's just bullshit. You're wasting time, you're wasting money, you're just a drag on the creative process.
Right, okay, my next question is, before we talk about the new album, what did you think of the Demons and Wizards album?
I thought it was great, man. I thought it was very well done. Of course, you know, I have the utmost respect for John and Hansi and Jim Morris, who lent his skills in producing. So I thought it was killer, man.
Have you ever thought of doing your own projects? And if so, what style of metal would you do? What musicians would you use?
Well, you know, if the thing is, man, I'm a vocalist, and like I said, sometimes I'm a lyricist, and that's pretty much what I do. I mean, if I was asked to help out on an existing project or something, it would have to really, I would think that it would have to really help promote Iced Earth. I don't think it could be the other way around. I wouldn't feel right about it if it was something that somebody was just really trying to use, you know, Iced Earth to promote it, or you know, me as a vocalist to promote another thing. So it would really have to be, I think, getting involved with maybe, you know, with friends or something, you know, with friends who actually have some clout and you know, could help sell and promote Iced Earth as well. Just because, you know, that's just, I don't know, that's just the way I see it. I would hate to do something that I didn't think was worthwhile, because quite frankly, you know, this certainly keeps me busy. And you know, I think that with Demons and Wizards, it was a very cool thing for them to do. They've been talking about doing it since like Night of the Storm Rider, doing something together. And you know, it certainly helped Iced Earth and Blind Guardian in certain territories, which we didn't sell hardly any records, like France, you know, for example. Record sales of Iced Earth and Blind Guardian went up after Demons and Wizards got the, you know, a nice push from SBV, and they also toured on it. So it just worked out very well, and that's the kind of situation that I would want to be in. I certainly wouldn't want to feel like I was just you know, helping promote somebody else's thing. I would want some self-promotion for this band as well.
Right, okay, well, let's talk about the new album then. So why the title Horror Show, and did you have any other titles in mind?
What was that again, man?
Why the title of the new album Horror Show, and did you have any other titles in mind?
Well, not really, man. There was thing is that back in the Purgatory days, when Iced Earth was called Purgatory, they did a demo called Horror Show, and that also dealt with other different horror characters, like Jason and Michael Myers and things like that.
You're talking about me.
but anyway, you know, it certainly seemed to fit when a couple of years ago, John had said something about maybe doing a 5-song EP based on the big 5 horror characters, the classic horror characters, and because at this point I think John is kind of, you know, beyond that Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and things like that, you know, as far as really wanting to write about those characters. And so we thought about it, and after Something Wicked came out, there was some talk about doing you know, a follow-up to the Set Abominate character, the Something Wicked trilogy, and doing a conceptual record, but we knew that we weren't ready for that at this point. So, you know, one thing leads to another, and we say, hey, you know, why don't we take this horror theme concept and roll with that, and see if we can you know, feel strongly enough about these characters that we can do a full length record. So, you know, one thing led to another, and here we go. You know.
Right. Okay. The next question is, the artwork was done by Danny Mickey and also Travis Smith. How did you hook up with them, and are you happy with the overall results?
Yeah, extremely happy, and there's some very cool art inside as well. The entire booklet is filled with different pieces of artwork. So we're really excited about it. The thing, we hooked up with Danny. Actually, he works on the Spawn comic as well, and he knows Greg Capullo and Todd McFarlane as well, who we've worked with the last couple records as far as artwork, with the Spawn character, and then with the Set Abominate character from Something Wicked, which Greg Capullo did. And we hooked up with Danny somewhere in between the Something Wicked and the Alive in Athens. And Danny lent his skill at inking in detail over top of Axel Herman's artwork for the cover, and also added artwork to the second and third disc artwork. And Danny's just got a really great eye and sense for detail, and we were really drawn to that. And it's really been a pleasure working with him. John basically, gave him all the concepts for what he wanted for the cover art, and the artwork in the center, and he just went with it. He just ran with it, and it was really cool.
Right. Was there any other covers in mind besides the one that you chose?
Well, there was initially the idea of a cover was to have the monsters on the front, but I think that with this one, it certainly keeps our character of Set involved in the cover art, as well as kind of makes it a nice surprise whenever you get into the center and see the creatures inside. So
excellent. It looks like a King Diamond cover with the the big hat.
The big castle. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at it, doesn't really look like Travis Smith's artwork.
Yeah. Well, that's because I think there's so much detail put in there by Danny Mickey. Travis is actually, he's really doing color and texturing, and that's really what we want, because we really love the comic art, maybe as opposed to some other stuff that Travis has done, and he does beautiful work, of course, but we really like the lines and the detail of the comic art, and I think it's fun for him to do this stuff. Adding to something else instead of creating these visuals by himself. I don't know. I'd like to sit down and talk to Travis about it, because I think he's really a quite brilliant guy.
Yeah, I used to do one of my favourite bands, Circles Wolves.
Yeah,
they were a fucking great band.
Yeah.
Do you ever actually hear that?
Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah.
Okay then. My next question is, what made you, John, and yourself want to do an album about horror movies?
Oh man, it goes back to childhood. There's
a metal thing.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, if you hear the influence from horror films and stories and iced earth music, then you're missing something. We're certainly influenced, and it really is. It's a matter of paying homage to these characters that have really influenced our life. That's the main reason why John took on the task of doing the Damien song, because the Omen trilogy was such a very it hit at a time in his life, and I'm sure a lot of people's lives, where that whole concept was just fucking scary as shit, and just the whole biblical, this is the end, cats and dogs living together, that kind of thing.
Yeah, right, okay. Next question is, was it hard to put this album together, and how long did it take to record the album?
Well, the writing process, I think, went really quick, simply because of the way that John works. John works is like a musical workaholic. He will just hammer away on stuff until it's done. And there was quite a bit of pre-production done, which was cool too. John used a cakewalk recording system, so he could start stacking and layering and doing all this stuff. Wrote up had the drum parts, writing in the drum parts as he's writing the rhythms, the guitar rhythms and stuff. Obviously the guitar rhythms dictate the direction of iced earth music, and then writing drums around them and everything else. It was a good tool for him, and certainly a good tool for me, because I could do a lot more pre-production as far as the vocal work, laying in harmonies and things like that, and getting a real feel for what the final product was going to be once we before we started actual production. So it went fairly quickly, final production went really quick.
Excellent. Okay, next question is, this album features ex-Death members, Rich, and also a friend of mine, Steve.
Right.
If you see Steve, can you please give him my new email address? I'll give you it at the end of the interview.
All right. Well,
he's been trying to contact me, and my email shut down, my older one. So.
Yeah, I don't know that he'll be that we'll be contacting him, man, because he's he's no longer with the band.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, what happened there?
Yeah. Well, he just basically he committed to us that he could do the touring as well as doing the record, and after we had done a photo shoot, we hadn't heard from him for like 5 weeks. John and our manager were trying to contact him and confirm on these tour dates, and his manager, which we didn't realize he had a manager, contacted us and told us that he wouldn't be able to do the touring because of recording commitments, which he never informed us about either. So,
is this with Testament or somebody else?
I have no idea, man.
Right.
I really, there was no other, explanation other than that. So, we felt kind of jilted. I'm being quite honest with you. Steve will get credit as a guest musician on the record, because that's what he is, man. At this point, I certainly don't believe we'll have a working relationship again because of the way that it was handled. So, it was very much a Rob Halford to Judas Priest kind of a bass. Yeah. So that was pretty uncool.
So who played the bass on the album? Was it Steve or was it John?
Yeah, Steve played the bass. Steve played some bass. John played bass in other parts.
Must be that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, is that the bass parts were written, and John was completely, they were written in pre-production, and John was prepared to do all the bass parts. So, it was just, it was a very uncool thing, and we were pretty disappointed, but we're moving on. 2 days after it got out on the internet, the bass player that we've used for touring and used on the live record called back and said, I'm there, I'm be willing to help if given a second chance, and so we're going to take him out on the road, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Is this the guy who's got Ice Death tattooed all over his back?
Yeah.
I bet he regretted having all those tattoos done.
Well, that's kind of a certainly a major commitment. That it was certainly one of those things. The thing is, Jimmy has been a very loyal person, and that wasn't the thing that was in question. But we're just gonna give it a second shot and see how it goes.
So why did he leave in the first place? What's the reason?
Well, I'm not going to get into it, man. Right. It's a very it's a personal thing, and we want to start out very fresh and certainly give him an opportunity to prove himself.
Yeah, because a friend of mine did a photo shoot with you, Keith Menzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he actually never played on the album.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is, besides this, how did you get hooked up with Rich? Was it something to do with the Demons and Wizards? Yeah. I mean, that the same way basically that that we got in contact with Steve. Both those guys had recorded in Morris Sound, and Jim had recorded both of them. So Jim recommended Richard to us because of his work with Death and everything else, and it's been a real pleasure working with Richard, man. He's just a totally upfront guy, very cool. He's got other projects which we're absolutely fine with, because everybody's got other projects and things like that, and we understand that. He's as long as he's upfront with us as far as his schedule, and we can work together. There's not a problem, and it'll be nice to tour with a drummer that we've recorded. So, we haven't done that in the last couple records. So what other projects is he doing besides Ice There?
Well, he's still I guess he's done the Control Denied record. I believe his drum parts are done for that.
Right.
As far as everything else being added to that. I don't know how long that's gonna.
I always chuck anyway these days.
Man, I really don't know, man. I get mixed word. I really hope and pray that he's doing well, man.
Yeah, he's a talented guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a really nice guy too.
Yeah, I met him a few times. Okay, the next question is, why are you happy with the performances of Richard and Steve for this album?
Yeah, man. I certainly don't have any problem. I mean, obviously Richard is just a killer drummer, and he's proven himself over and over again in recording. So, and first time working with Steve, things went fine. So.
Okay, right. Next question is, was this album wrote as a team effort, or was it just down to yourself and John?
Well, it was just me and John. I mean, John doing at least 99% of the music, certainly, and 99 to 100% of the music, obviously, and me just lending my some of my lyrical writing and vocal skills, Right. So yeah, I mean, it was John wrote the music from the from the drums and bass and rhythm guitars, and Larry Tarnowski lended his skills in Imhotep, the song about the mummy, and but like I said, John's the main songwriter, and that's quite obvious.
Was Larry in the band on the last album?
Yeah, he sure was.
Right, so he's been in the band for a couple of albums then.
Right.
I recognise him with his hair tied back or whatever. He said, unless he's had it shaved off.
Yeah, he took it down. He got it taken down a bit. So.
Right. Okay. Next question is, would I say be right in saying that this is a concept album, and if so, was it hard trying to arrange the songs for the album?
It's a theme record, man. I would say more than a there's no real concept other than there's more of a theme with the horror stories, and it was certainly I'm sure it was I can't speak for John, but I'll try to. I'm pretty sure that it was a unique experience for him, trying to really convey the feeling of these stories and these creatures in music, just starting off on that level first, because I know that's the way he writes. He'll start with a theme or a title and start writing and try to convey musically first, and then add vocal melody and then add lyrical content. He's got all these things going on at once normally, but that's the way he normally does it. And the things that he wasn't so inspired by, musically, I tried to help out, with writing the lyrics and then giving him my idea lyrically, and then maybe he would be inspired by that. So.
Right. This album also features a choir. How did you hook up with the choir and also the female vocalist?
Well, the female vocalist, obviously needed to be used in Phantom of the Opera. The character Christine is such an integral part of that story. Unlike any other horror film or book, it really Christine is a main character. So it was just apparent that really needed to be done the way that John wanted to do the song, in more of a musical sense, of a Broadway musical sense, I guess, or maybe off Broadway, but as far as the chorus is concerned, we knew that we needed a big choral arrangement for Damien, and just to kind of give that overwhelming sense of gloom and doom in the intro. So once we had all these people, which is something that we've never done before, really. We've never done huge group vocals. We've always done like simulated group vocals by recording me and John and Jim and doing it on different tracks and different distances from the mic and everything like that. But this time we actually had like 8 different voices and 2 female voices and all this stuff, and different types of voices. And it really sounds cool. It really sounds big, and we used it for Damien, and thought that well, since this group is here, let's go ahead and do the stuff for like Dracula, and it just worked out that we've got this really big choral sound on the record.
So how many people do you actually use then? How many?
About eight different people,
Really?
and then
Like more than 8
and then
people.
that's the whole thing. There are certainly recording tricks, moving people different distances away, having different people do different harmonies, and it just obviously just sounds, whenever you have different voices doing lower and then mid-range and then higher, and it really sounds huge. But that's a recording, obviously a trick to recording.
Yeah, because I've been to Morris Tom Studios. A friend of mine, Tom from Camelot, took me.
Uh-huh.
Was you in the main building, the main studio, the real big one?
Actually, we did most of the vocal overdubs at John's home studio in Indiana. The only thing that was actually recorded at Morris Sound were the drums and rhythm guitars.
Right. Oh, strange. Okay, our next question is so what are your favourite tracks on the album, and least favourite tracks, and why?
Well, I think one of my favorite tracks was Dracula, because the story content. It's just always been kind of close to my heart as far as a horror theme. I don't really know that I have a least favorite track, man. It would kind of be I don't know. I don't think that there's anything that I have least favorite. When I listen to the record, I listen to it all the way through, and I dig the whole thing. And I can have that that point of view, because the music is well written by John, and I just dig it. Even I always find fault in myself. I can go, man, I could have done that better, or I could have done that better. But I do that in every song. So
Paul says from Slayer every time he does an album, he said it sucks his drumming. Right, and so what did you do with the Iron Maiden song Transylvania? Is it just because it was a horror theme?
Yeah. I mean, and obviously, there's obviously, a certain amount of tribute there, man. We Iron Maiden are obviously, we're really big fans. So.
I'm a big Judas Priest fan, they're my idols.
Yeah, cool, man.
Right then, so why is this album? Because I've got a promo like a lot more all these people have. It's got fade out tracks. Why has it got fade out? Is it to do with MP3 or?
Yeah, well, that's probably part of it, and there's a problem with bootlegging, man. It's just rampant. So, and MP3, the whole Napster bullshit is part of it, and we're totally in agreement with the record company's decision to do that, because it's not just ripping off the record company, man. People got to understand it's taking food right out of my mouth, whenever that's done, because the artist always gets paid last, and, so it's really hurting us the worst. When after the record company's all paid up and everything else is the only time that the artist gets paid.
Is it
So
to do with like places like Indonesia and Singapore where they do a lot of bootlegging?
Yeah, I would imagine so. And we send out so many promo copies. Some out of like 3,000 promos, there's going to be one or two bad eggs, and there's always somebody that's willing to do something really low down to make a buck. So
are these actually all the songs on the album, 11 tracks, or is there any missing?
No, that's it, man.
Okay, next question is, how do you see this album, each album as a progression?
Oh, well, I think, there's obviously progressions in the way that John writes. With each record, the more experience you get writing and producing a record, you gain something. And I think if we start slipping back, if people think that we're falling back, then there's something wrong. So I don't know, man. I try to think of innovative ways to bring across things vocally, and John tries to do different things and really innovate his style of writing. So with that in mind, I guess as long as we keep trying to do better things, then we'll keep doing better records.
Yeah, because I give the album 4.5 out of 5.
Cool, man.
It's a really, really strong album. Just keep up the good work, Matt, you know.
All right,
Can't
thanks, man.
going wrong now because you're on the way there. Right then, Matt, next question is, are you doing a promo video? And also, are you happy with the way Century Media is doing promotion for this album?
Well, you know, they're doing what they can, man. You know, obviously there's a certain league that Century Media is in, and this is our last record for them, and you know, we'll be moving on. We'll be trying to do something else, because, you know, like we were talking about, you know, we're growing musically as a band, and our fan base is growing, but it's at a nominal pace, and we really need a push. And
so where you going then? Are you looking for major labels, or?
No, I wouldn't think that we're not ready for a major label.
Right.
You know, but certainly there are labels out there that would be willing to take the risk along with us, because you know, we're risk takers, man. That's just what we are, you know, and we're willing to do everything to take this to the next level. And we need
like
somebody.
Social media that actually said to you, like, we'll make it better for you if you stay with us, or?
I just think that they have limitations, man. You know, they're just very limited as far as what they can do. They're spread very thin, and you know, there's only so much they can do.
So you're living on good terms, obviously.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Right. So are you doing a promo video for this album?
No, we're not, man. Videos just don't suit us. You know, we do music, and really to do a video, you know, I'd feel certainly comfortable with doing something live, but you know, it just costs a lot of money to do it, and you know, we pay for it, so you know, the record company doesn't fit the bill.
I was just thinking, actually, if you did a video of 5 members in the band, you could be Dracula, John could be the Wolf. You know,
there you go.
You know, that'd be quite funny just to see 5 members as different people off the, you know.
Well, I think it would be a lot of fun, but man, something like that and not do it cheesy would be, you know, imagine how much money that costs. You know, I know that the last Danzig video that I saw got so little play, and it cost them, you know, $250,000.
He's a dickhead, man, that guy.
I mean, yeah, well, I wouldn't disagree with you on that.
All right then, Matt, my next question is, so when will we see the band tour in Europe?
Well, we'll be over here in September and October, and you know, we're going to start out the tour in the U.S. in August, which is a bit different for us, and you know, try to bring it over here, and we're going to do something a little unique. We're not going to have an opening act. We're going to actually do an extended Iced Earth set with you know, several set changes and things like that.
Right. Do you know whereabouts in England you're playing? Have you got any date whereabouts it's going to be?
Yeah.
Not the Underworld, please.
Let's see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the. Yeah, it is the Underworld.
Oh, fucking, that's a shit place.
Well, yeah. Well, we've heard it's small,
change.
But
if you're gonna have a different set change, it's gonna be hard in there. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I would imagine so. But you know, we may have to do something a little bit different for that. But
it's
you know,
some stupid little post right in the middle of the stage, so if you get behind them, you can't see the band.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Well, we you know, we're just I guess fortunate to be playing anywhere there. So
yeah.
You know, we'll take it in and you know, I guess just do what we can, man.
If it is a success, the English date, will you be coming back to do more dates over here?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, excellent.
Certainly.
So, what bands will be supporting you? Obviously, you just said there won't be anybody, just yourselves.
Yeah.
Have you got any plans to do any festivals this year?
No, man. We're not. We're really going to concentrate on this tour and you know, try to make it really a special thing for the fans. So, we decided not to do. You know, there are obviously offers and stuff from festivals, but you know, maybe next year. You know.
Would you like to play with that? You haven't played with this so far.
Well, obviously Iron Maiden would be great. John and Hansi and Demons and Wizards got to open for them at Gods of Metal in Italy last year, and that was really, really cool. I'd love to be able to do that, but man, I don't know. You know, Judas Priest. Yeah, shit, yeah.
Excellent. All right then, Matt, I'd like to thank you for doing the interview, and I wish you all the best.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Do you have anything to say to the readers and fans before we finish?
Yeah, man. Well, you know, this is just let them know that this is going to be our first time in the UK, man, and you know, we're really excited about it, and we know that it may be a smaller venue, but everybody's got to start out somewhere, right? So, you know, come out and see us, and you know, impress the shit out of the promoters there, and maybe the next time we come back, it'll be a better venue.